this rally point scoring system.
It is the best 2 out of 3 game championship final. First 2 games to 21, third game, if necessary, is to 15 as Branagh hits it into the net. So first blood drawn by May and Walsh. They've won 9 straight AVP events after finishing 3rd in the opening tournament of the year. Branagh, cut shot, yes.
And it looks like the early strategy for May and Walsh is that Walsh will be blocking the angle on Nicole Branagh. The first one went in the net. The second one barely going over that tape for a point.
Elaine Youngs to serve it up. One of the top servers on the AVP tour. Pounds one down the middle. Here's Walsh. And Walsh snaps one through.
But that's the exact serve that Elaine Youngs is going to have to do. That's how you put pressure on this May Walsh team. Watch how far Kerry Walsh has to move to cover that court. Great job by her. But those serves keep coming like that. Youngs and Branagh are going to have a good chance to win this match.
Kerry Walsh, 6'2 1/4, serving Branagh. And Branagh with a cut shot. Misty's there, and it's poked over. Branagh on 2, yes. How much of an advantage is it for Branagh Youngs going early, maybe going on 2 some of the time?
I think it's very effective because it keeps the defense. Misty May was out of position, and Kerry Walsh, you'll see right here, she wasn't ready to block it. Misty May wasn't ready to dig that. That's a good strategy to mix in, but not do every time.
Nicole Branagh. And serving into the net. She was a 2-time All-American at Minnesota, played overseas in both Japan and Italy before coming out onto the beach. Last year, she was the most improved player. She's got good in a hurry. She'll take a back set and down the line, out of bounds. So Branagh with a slow start. We mentioned, or they mentioned, 2 very difficult matches. Both went 3, so they've already played 6 games today.
Definitely conditioning a little bit of a factor, and Youngs' calf has been bothering her since Long Beach.
Here's Youngs. And Youngs chopping over the top.
Eli taps over the top, 3-4.
So we're off to a good start in Manhattan Beach, California. Walsh and May leading 4-3. Hey everybody, Chris Marlowe and Kartstra, Misty May and Kerry Walsh, almost as good as a sure thing. They've won 9 out of 10 on the AVP tour, and they just keep getting better and better.
100 wins and 3 losses in all of 2007. An amazing team that is really scary. Let's look at that semifinal match. For the first time in quite a while, they got tested by Rachel Wacholder and Tyra Turner. Made some hitting errors, as Walsh mentioned in the opening interview, and got dug, hit the ball out some, and lost that first game. First set that they'd lost in quite some time, but May and Walsh coming back strong. This was really the rally of the match. Kerry Walsh covering herself not once, but twice. When you give Kerry Walsh 3 or 4 chances to put the ball away, it is going down. But they were actually glad that they had to work a little harder and got more challenged. Their coach, Troy Tanner, said, look, it can't always be easy. And they worked for it, got a good semifinal win. Last year, this team was really strong, but very much improved over last year. Misty May, higher kills per game. Kerry Walsh, higher blocks per game by almost 30%. And Misty May, as a result of that stronger block, up by almost 20% on the defense. Amazing improvement by that team over a 12-month period.
Kerry Walsh and Misty May, Karch told you they've only lost 2 matches on the AVP tour this season. One of them to the opposition today. That's, of course, Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh. How did they do it?
They did it with really tough serving, and it was in the very first event of the year in Miami, Florida. They're going to have to do that again, as I talked about. Only 1 in 10 lifetime. They're going to have to keep that serving up. They already have a couple of hitting errors, though, and that's going to hurt them. They're going to have to make May and Walsh beat them by keeping the unforced errors down.
Misty May and Kerry Walsh, of course, the defending Olympic gold medalists, primed and ready for Beijing, less than a year away now. And of course, Branagh Youngs hope to be the 2nd team from America to go to the Olympics. There's a good serve by Youngs. And Misty May puts it away.
And in fact, Branagh and Youngs are in the best position. It's a three-way race for that second Olympic qualification slot for the Americans. Branagh and Youngs have a slight advantage over Turner, Wacholder, and the other team, April, Ross, and Jen Boss.
5-3 here in game one. May and Walsh with the lead. And Branagh with a nice touch shot. Our Bud Light tournament recap for Misty May and Carrie Walsh. Generally, they dispatch of the opposition in 2 straight games, and form held until the semis.
And you can see at the bottom they're losing, and not even that close. 16-21, a little bit of a breakdown, but the thing that they feel is different this year for them is that they don't get as stressed out when they're challenged a little bit. Carrie Walsh talked about it before the match.
Misty May, here she comes, and she unloads. Let's quickly take a Bud Light recap of Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs. Had some very difficult matches today.
Well, they got upset in a great match yesterday to the last weekend's finalists, Angie Akers and Brooke Hansen, but came back strong through the losers bracket. They could be quite a bit more tired, though, than May and Walsh.
Here's Branagh. Misty's got it. And Branagh digs back. Nicole Branagh poke, yes. That's quite a shot with the knuckle. To have that touch where you can knuckle it short or knuckle it deep.
And in fact, she was able to use it twice in that play. Once to dig. You can see here, Branagh is trying to work it around. Good soft block by Walsh there. There's a pokey now. Watch her use this knuckle. The knuckler right there. She's working the ball short to her left and to her right so far to put the ball away. Expect May to lean forward a little more on defense.
Elaine Youngs, jump serve to Carrie Walsh. Popped over. Walsh will try another one. And it's coming. Transition point, Branagh. No! Carrie Walsh. So just as she did in the early video, covering herself was Carrie Walsh, and then able to get the block at the end.
She has been doing that. Let's watch and listen right from the start here. Young's taking the angle. She's going to do it again on the angle. But now here comes Walsh. Great blocking by both players here.
Carrie Walsh, the #1 drafted on the AVP Women's Tour.
With over 1.5 blocks per game. That's the highest anybody's registered on this tour. Much improved over last year.
Nice pass by Branagh. They'll run a back set, and Branagh tapping it. What's the advantage for Branagh and Youngs utilizing a back set or moving it around?
What they try and do is keep Walsh off balance. She has to move to her left sometimes and then to her right. And that time she had to move to her right, and it just keeps her a little bit off balance, and then she's unable to jump straight up and down. As I mentioned, one of the keys, up and down pogoing for her.
May Walsh leading 7-6. Straight down the hatch goes Carrie Walsh. The Walsh with the hammer.
Young's upset with herself on this play. This is her ball. She didn't reach enough to her left to take that.
Timeout. Walsh may lead 8-6. It is a scene here at the Manhattan Beach Open presented by Bud Light. 8-6. Troy Tanner is the coach for Misty May and Carrie Walsh. Just a moment ago, he was giving them instructions.
When Nicole comes around 3 times now, 2 hits this way, the way she's approaching, and a shot. So everything's going. She's just coming with it and going with it, shooting here and banging there. Okay, so stay middle and then run the shot down, and then you're going to have to take the hard hit because she will not. I don't see how she can unless she gets way around it, you know.
Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs. Their coach is the great Liz Masakayan. And Liz, what was the game plan going in against May and Walsh?
Well, really, it was all about us. I think we need to take care of our side of the court. Carrie and Misty have a lot, you know, going on their side, and they can do everything. So we just have to mix it up with them. But really, the focus is to take care of our side.
Liz, Elaine Youngs wasn't able to continue on at the end of that Long Beach tournament a few weeks ago. How is her calf doing now?
It's stable. It's not good. And actually, her other calf's bothering her too. So, you know, this is her fourth match today, 8th of the tournament, and they're hanging on by a string right now.
Liz, is the plan to serve May, or are you going to sprinkle some into Walsh too?
Yeah, just like.
Or good serves like that down the middle.
Yeah, of course, we feel more comfortable defending Misty, but that's not to say that we're not going to test Carrie out here and there.
You mentioned making it harder on yourselves by losing yesterday. You were in control against Akers and Hansen. What happened, and how did you get back on track?
You know, I think that they got on a roll. We were up 16-12, and we just didn't have any fire to fight, really. We need, at 18 all, you just gotta do what it takes, and there was no energy, and they just didn't dig deep and fight. That's all.
All right, Liz, good luck. Coach well. We'll talk to you later. That's Liz Massakayan, the coach for Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh. 9-8. Branagh and Youngs have scored 3 in a row. Youngs with the hat. Good serve. This is a free ball coming up. Branagh got it. So tough serving is putting May and Walsh in a difficult position.
Got to whip that serve, and Chris, 3 good ones. You saw the middle serve, then the line one way, then getting Walsh to her left, the other sideline. Young's doing a great job of mixing up not only the speed, but the location. Middle, one sideline, the other sideline. Let's see if she goes back to the middle on this one.
4 straight points for Branagh Youngs since the timeout. Now Misty with it. Here she comes. Right to Branagh. Youngs poke. Yes! Youngs and Branagh after a slow start humming.
And they had a great semifinal. Let's watch from behind here. Young's doing a nice job of poking this ball over. Watch here in the semifinal. She had a match point that she hit out without using that knuckle shot. And she was saying afterward, oh man, that was so unlike me. I've got to use that pokey to put the ball down when I'm up at the net.
Biggest lead of game 1 for Youngs Branagh. 11-8. Walsh off the hands, right through the arms of Elaine Youngs. So Youngs has got the timing. She's there. It's a matter of pressing over and getting over.
And what they're doing is blocking a lot of angle, giving up the soft cut shot, challenging Walsh and May to hit hard down the line.
Carrie Walsh with a little jump floater. Branagh, backhand out of bounds. So the hitting error there costs Branagh Youngs a point. 11-10 our score. Let's check out who's on top in the race for the season-ending championship. Of course, that is the Crocs Cup standings. Of course, May and Walsh gliding along with 3,800 points. They look like they're a shoe-in for the Crocs Cup at this point in time. 11-10. And Youngs hits away.
What's amazing is they're a shoe-in for that, and they've missed a couple of events where they got 0 points because they were overseas playing in Olympic qualification events.
Nicole Branagh, born in Olinda, California, now living in Torrance. 2 career wins, both with Youngs, and that serve is out of bounds. So make it a 12-11 now. Branagh Youngs lead. Misty May with it. She can become the all-time money winner today. She can pass Holly McPeak with a win and go over $1,500,000. Branagh nobody up, and she hit it out.
And that's about the 4th or 5th hitting error by Branagh Youngs. There is no way you can expect to beat the best team in the world, May and Walsh, by making these kinds of mistakes. She feels the blocker drop off the net, so she figures I'm going to have to make a better and harder hit to get that ball down against 2 back row defenders rather than 1, but mistake goes out down in the cross court.
Off speed, Walsh has got it. Left hand, no. I don't think there was a touch. Walsh appealing, but her heart's not in it. Walsh
and that's how you know there was no touch. Not much of an argument on that one. May all over the court here, getting this ball up. Walsh showing how coordinated she is. She had to play much of a season left-handed at Stanford when she was having some major shoulder problems.
Now Elaine Young set to serve. Her team up by 1. Good serve right down the pipe. May missed it. The serving has been the story, I think, here in game 1. They're just putting unusual pressure on May and Walsh.
And they're using the same strategy that Wacholder and Turner used in the semifinals, and that is after that tough serve, Youngs goes up to the net, takes the angle. May is challenged to try to hit the soft shot over the block into that angle. Didn't even clear the net that time.
Youngs with 6 serving points. That will cost her 1 there. Of course, it's point per play scoring. So make it 14-13.
And even though they have some serving errors, I think they're happy with the ratio because they're scoring so much off of those tough serves. They're willing to take 3 or 4 errors this game.
Here comes Branagh. Off speed, yes. So changing it up, Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh. Game 1 from Manhattan Beach. Elaine Youngs and Branagh leading the defending Olympic gold medalists 15-13. Manhattan Beach Open presented by Bud Light. 15-13 here in game 1. Kerry Walsh just a moment ago on a block seemed to injure one of her fingers. Let's take a look. Cards looked like it was to the right hand.
It's a finger that has been bothering her a little bit. We'll get a close-up later. You can see the tape on it, and that just irritated it that much more, exacerbated the pain that she's probably feeling. You can see that right ring finger wrapped with tape, and Young's got it right on there.
Coach Troy Tanner, is that finger much of a concern, Troy? How worried are you?
Kerry's extremely tough. So, yeah, it's been bothering her for a while, but there's no way she's going to let that affect the way she plays today.
You were seeing a little difference, Troy, in the types of serves. One team really hitting the hard serve. What do you want your team to be doing and accomplishing on that knuckle serve?
Well, we're trying to not just put the ball into play. Occasionally we get into that habit. We want to sort of flatten and make them move around. Make them cover some sand, not just hit it right into their pocket.
It looks like, just like we saw on this very last play, teams in the semifinals and finals trying to take a lot of angle, especially on Misty, but also on Walsh. What do you try to do to react and help them see that better?
Yeah, we're trying to get them to slow up their approach a little bit, not rush. That's really the only time we get into trouble is when we rush our approaches. So if we can just slow it down a little bit, get a little better vision, and then we usually correct ourselves.
All right, Troy, thanks. You get your work cut out for you. Get to it. Thanks, pal. 16-14, Branagh Young's leading. Misty May and Kerry Walsh on the left side of the court. Branagh Young's on the right side. This is game 1, the crown jewel of the AVP Crocs Tour, the Manhattan Beach Open. Young's chopping, Misty's got it, and Kerry pops it up. Big play here, Branagh. Oh, what a dig by Walsh. And Branagh going on too. A little bit of a surprise, taking a bit of a chance, but if you want to beat the champs, you may have to.
Well, Misty May started that play with the kind of serve that Coach Tanner was talking about, making Elaine Young's move, hitting it short in the middle. But May and Walsh never really had a chance to win a point on this play. None of the plays that were controlled well enough. Misty May did all she could just to get that over the net.
17-14 now. There's one more look, the put away. Branagh Young's by 3 in a game to 21. Young's. Here comes Misty. And she poked it out. 18-14 for more on Kerry Walsh. Let's go down to Heather Cox.
Guys, during that last time out, as she came out of the player's box, I had a chance to ask Kerry how her finger was. She definitely did jam it and dislocate it, said she pulled it out, but is okay. She did have trouble, she said, with that left-handed shot that we saw. She said normally I would have hit it right-handed, but the knuckler was bothering her. She was worried about doing the pokey during that play, guys.
All right, concern for May Walsh. They're down by 4. Branagh Young's. Playing great. Branagh with another dig. Young shovels it over. May, cut shot. Branagh right there. Looking for it. She's got it. 19-14. Let's watch and listen to this point. Good communication.
And you can see Walsh there going with the left when normally she would use the right. That finger may have come into play.
Serving points for Elaine Youngs. Branagh 8 kills, 7 digs. 19-14, 2 points away. Youngs. Man, Walsh looking very shaky as Youngs swats one back.
We saw that in the semifinals also, Chris. The blockers have been waiting on May a little bit and jumping much later than she jumps. That way, the ball is coming up. As they're coming up, they can slap that one down. Really nice play by Youngs.
14-6 scoring run. What a turnaround for Branagh Youngs. First game point, that's way wide. So make it 20-15. They'll switch sides. Good side, bad side today, Karai?
Not much. It's coming almost straight off the ocean.
On your feet, ladies and gentlemen, game point, game number 1.
Second game point. Youngs and Branagh looking for the put away. This could be it. Branagh takes a back set, and she's got it. Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs stunning Misty May and Carrie Walsh in game 1. Closing with a 15-7 run.
You could see Walsh even there to give her partner a high or a low 5. Did it with the left hand, not the right.
Olympic gold medalists down 1 game to none. We will continue. We're back at the 2007 Manhattan Beach Open presented by Bud Light. A shocking result in game 1. Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs handle Misty May and Carrie Walsh. Let's now go down to the sand for a beach peek. Heather is standing by with Elaine Youngs. Heather.
Thanks so much. And a 14-6 run to turn it around really behind some great serving and blocking, EY. And as we look at the beach peek, tell us, how have you really been able to get a read on Misty May?
Okay, well, I think for Nicole and I, you'll see here, it's amounted to tough serving. I think my jump serve's going really well right now. And the other part of this, I think what you're going to see is me having played against Misty May quite a bit. I know that she likes to cut, and it's making an athletic play, and, you know, knowing her a little bit, I expect her to come out and hit a few more of these. That's a great play by Nicole there. And, you know, we're playing good volleyball. We got to continue this right now. You know, they're going to come out firing on all cylinders for sure.
You talked to Mike Dodd about fatigue. How is it, and how do you keep it going in game 2?
Well, it's, you know, just going balls out. We have nothing to lose here. They're the #1 team in the world. They've won everything. We're going to play point by point. I'm going to keep going for it serving. Nicole's going to have her fire and energy because I haven't had it this weekend, and we're going to go for it here. We got a good opportunity, Heather, really good opportunity.
We'll let you get to it. Best of luck to you, Eli.
All right, Elaine Youngs fired up. She knows this might be her chance.
Talked to her before the match. She was really upset. 3 weeks ago, she hurt her calf in the middle of the match to get to the semifinals. They had to forfeit that match to May and Walsh, and some people kind of got through the grapevine back to her, accused her of taking a dive, and she never forfeited a match in her life. So she's coming out with a lot to prove. She said, look, that injury was bad. I needed to make sure I keep care of it for the World Championships.
Misty May and Carrie Walsh have now lost. Well, I should say that was their worst first game loss since 2005 when they lost to Walkholder and Youngs 21-15 at Huntington Beach.
And they came close earlier today, losing the first one 21-16. So this is not unusual in this particular day.
That serve out of bounds, so tie it up at 1. May and Walsh, of course, the defending champs here, 2-time defending champs. They've won 3 of the last 4 here. Youngs is right there. Misty with a dig overhand. Nobody up, bye-bye.
Youngs and Branagh with a lost opportunity there. Unusual. They gave Kerry Walsh the free ball, and Youngs all over it, but didn't get the set close to the net. Don't give May and Walsh another chance. It's going to be tough to score points on that.
We feel a San Antonio Spurs type charge getting ready here from May and Walsh. They're going to apply the pressure, third quarter pressure, we'd call it in the NBA. See if Branagh and Youngs. Nice up, Youngs. Misty's right there. Misty May. And Branagh with the dig back. And Youngs, I think, could have gone after that. Maybe for the joust that have cost her a point.
Unusual play there. Both May making a mistake on hitting a really easy cut shot, but then Youngs. Here we got the good set. Nice cover by Youngs there. Watch this one. Unusual shot by May here. How easy this goes to the defender. But Youngs just couldn't keep that on her side of the net.
3 straight points for Misty May and Kerry Walsh. Branagh on the back set. Misty's there. It's got to go over. Going to get blocked by Branagh. And an overset drop.
How often do you see that? That's the cardinal sin as a blocker. Stay up and watch the set. See where it's going. Then you can drop off. Watch right here. Branagh is going to drop back. She's going to drop back right on this play here. Nowhere in sight. Ball drops. If she had stayed up at the net, she'd get the easy put away. Got to stay and watch that set before you make your decision.
4-1 our score. May Walsh rebounding from a Game 1 loss. If you just joined us. Branagh punching it hard. Kerry Walsh. A reminder to stay tuned and watch for the Banana Boat longest lasting rally of the match. Your chance to win a trip to the AVP event at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. When we announce which rally was the longest lasting, log on to avp.com/bb for your chance to win. Banana Boat Sport, of course, providing long lasting protection all day long. 4-2. Nicole Branagh serving. Easy play. Call was there. Branagh. And a scoring play off Walsh.
May with a little less pace on her shots today, and as a result, Nicole Branagh is playing really good defense, getting almost all of those up in the air for point scoring opportunities.
It's a slide switch in Manhattan. Branagh and Youngs trailing May Walsh 4-3. And plenty of video content, including player interviews. It's all at NBCSports.com. The wave rolling here in Manhattan Beach. We've got a good one going. Let's check in with Mike Dodd.
Thanks, Chris. You know, as an athlete, sometimes when your tank is just about on empty, that's when you really begin to focus. And I think that's what's happening with Branagh and Youngs. They're forgetting about their names on the pier and the cameras and the crowd and everything else, and they're just focusing on the task at hand, moving very fluidly on defense and making nice shots and nice decisions, mixing things up. Branagh hit that ball out, but she's still making the right move. She's mixing it up and keeping May and Walsh off balance.
All right, let's bring in Heather Cox. Heather?
Guys, Kerry Walsh and Misty May returned a few days ago from Switzerland and Austria, and both of them said their 2-week European swing was the most grueling 2 weeks that they can remember since Athens in the Olympics. The pressure of the World Championships combined with the constant travel, and they said they are flat out worn out. They both admitted they're still feeling a little jet-lagged and out of sorts. Misty saying she was still, quote, mush. They're hoping they can overcome that lack of energy and still battle through to win the title, guys.
Mush is a concern, Coach.
She said she hasn't gotten to see her husband since July 1st, almost 2 months now since Matt Trainer plays for the Florida Marlins, and they're both on such busy summer schedules.
And Matt Trainer having a good week, hitting .323. His average is now up to .292. Yeah, playing well. 6-4 our score. Walsh and May with a 2-point lead here in Game 2. And Young's playing with tremendous confidence right now.
And it almost looks like they're choosing to hit these high, flat, hard shots, hoping to catch Walsh's finger 1 or 2 more times, see if they can put some more damage on that thing.
Did Walsh hurt it again in a subsequent rally? Looked like she might have nicked it
She's
again.
grabbed it a few more times, and of course, Youngs is dealing with the calf issue, and the other calf isn't feeling so great out now being in their 8th match.
Whole herd is sore. And Walsh shines one down.
Hammering down the line.
Of course, Misty May and Carrie Walsh have won 77 tournaments together. That is 3rd all time behind Smith and Stokos at 114. Actually, it's 2nd now. Karai and Steffes have faded to 3rd with 75 wins. Branagh, Misty's right there. And a beautiful set from Carrie Walsh.
And that's what we're much more used to with this May Walsh team of 07. Watch how Misty May is going to move and cover over here at the last minute. That's her responsibility, and then she finds the open spot behind the block. Earlier today, Walsh said it is really nice. People are afraid of us again, and they did not feel that in 06. They feel like they have great momentum going in just 1 year away from Beijing.
Shank pass point. So May and Walsh starting to apply the pressure to Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs.
Looks like Youngs is calling for a medical timeout here. Her calf is starting to bother her even more than it has been.
And we have a timeout, ladies and gentlemen.
So we have a medical timeout. We'll have more on Elaine Youngs. Can she continue? We'll find out, so stay tuned. We're back at the 2007 Manhattan Beach Open presented by Bud Light. Concerned now the health of Elaine Youngs. She appeared to injure her calf on this play card. She'll re-injure the calf. She couldn't go.
Well, it was giving her so many problems in Long Beach 3 weeks ago. They had to stop. Exacerbated that injury right there. We don't know if it was more of a cramp situation and dehydration being in their 8th match, or if she actually made the injury worse, but she is going to give it a shot here, down 9-5 after winning the first game.
May and Walsh are on a 3-0 scoring run. And Young's moving pretty well. But so is Carrie Walsh to make it 10-5.
I'm actually surprised. If I were the other team, I would serve Youngs and challenge her to try to jump off of that calf after it was irritating her, but I guess you can't second guess him now with a block like that.
And Young's going over
Nicely done.
For an update on Elaine, let's check in with Mike Dodd.
All right, Chris Karchi, there's no cramp situation at all. The trainers over here were giving EY deep tissue massage, just working their thumbs deep into her calf muscle. EY was in a lot of pain, but I think they were just trying to loosen it up and keep it warm and keep it going. A nice little break for Youngs and Branagh. And I too, Karchi, was very surprised to see May and Walsh not go after EY on that first serve. Back up to you guys.
Youngs got up there. May with a dig. And the put away.
Well, you can see, number one, she did not jump serve on that last play. So she's hesitating from jumping, and then she wasn't able to jump quite as much when trying to convert that last point opportunity. Here is that deep tissue massage that Mike Dodd was talking about just a few minutes ago during the medical timeout. I'm still a little surprised that Walsh and May don't challenge Youngs to jump a little bit more by putting the ball to her on the serve. She passes the first, gets the set, and has to hit.
11-6 our score. They'll try Branagh again. Branagh off speed. May got it. And she puts it away.
And you can see Youngs there cannot move explosively, and she gets stuck in no man's land. She can't get up to the net to block. She can't go back on defense. Easy put away for Misty May there. We'll see it in the latter part of this play. She's not moving very well. She gets stuck. What do I do? I can't move anywhere. And May puts the ball away over her head down the middle.
Youngs Branagh forced to take another timeout. Game 2 here at Manhattan Beach. Drama unfolding. Walsh May with the lead. Back at the Manhattan Beach Open presented by Bud Light. The big story right now, pain in the left calf for Elaine Youngs. After winning game 1, she's trying to hang in here in game 2. Troy Tanner, the coach for Misty and Carrie just a moment ago. Listen.
No, I don't think that we have to start shooting it at EY, but we need to keep an eye on this. This maybe, can she jump? Can she jump? But we're all over Nicole right now, so let's just stay there.
Karch Karai, strategy now.
We were talking to Elaine Youngs before the match, and she said, you know, it feels like piano wire in there, and it's just tightening and tightening. It feels like something's going to snap, and it apparently did a few plays ago.
Branagh cross court.
Now, Coach Tanner was talking, there's two ways to go. Either they stick with going hard at Nicole Branagh, like they do here, continuing to give her the ball and letting Elaine Youngs make a play without having to jump. But now Youngs is up at the net. We'll see what kind of a block she can put up.
Branagh with the serve. Pretty good one. Here comes Misty. I've got a scenario.
She's down again.
I've got a scenario right now, Karch. If I'm Youngs and Branagh, I forfeit. I forfeit this game right now and go right to game 3. Forfeit this game. They're not going to win it. Forfeit this game and go right to game 3. Could you do that?
Yes, you could. And I don't think that would be a bad idea because you get the 3 or 4 or 5 minutes between games. They can get another, essentially a medical without calling the medical timeout.
You run the risk of more injury here. Branagh takes a whack. Carries there. Youngs. She's out of whack, and down she goes. So she is in extreme pain now. And we'll have to see whether she can continue. Here comes the AVP medical staff. And she might be cramping also.
Uh-oh. Well, they are in their 8th match over a 2-day period. This is a brutal tournament to play because you start 8 a.m. on Friday, finish the tournament by 2 on Saturday, playing it barely over 24 hours. They are bringing her some fluids here to make sure she stays hydrated. But working on the other leg a little bit there.
If you have an injured calf, does that throw the rest of your body out of whack trying to overcompensate?
Absolutely, and you rely more on the other leg, so it puts more, that left calf puts more pressure on the right leg as she's trying to use that right to carry herself around.
For an update on the situation, let's head down to Mike Dodd.
Chris, you hit the nail right on the head. They are working right now on EY's right thigh. It seems to be locking up. They're just trying to move the muscles around and loosen it up. So I think it's definitely one of those scenarios where she's been overcompensating for that right calf throughout this entire long enduring tournament. And I think now the left side of her body is starting to give way.
Youngs and Branagh played 6 games earlier today. A 3-game match, a 3-game match. They came out in game 1 and beat Mae Walsh convincingly, Karch, 21-15. Here in game 2, though, Elaine Youngs, who has had a history of calf problems, especially this year.
And they had the 4 tough matches yesterday, including the 3-game loss that gave them so many problems by forcing them to drop into the contenders bracket and having to play more matches just to get here.
We are told that this game is done. She's already used her medical timeout. She has 1 minute to decide, we are told, whether she can continue the match. And as I surmise, they may have to go right to game 3 and see if she can grind it out.
Well, there's a lot of season left, and Elaine Youngs is such a fierce competitor. I can see that, or think that inside her head she's thinking, I hate not playing this out, but I've got to be smart. There's a lot of season left. I could make things a lot worse.
All right, let's go back down to Mike Dodd.
All right, Chris Karchi, I just talked to Liz Masakayan and Nicole Branagh. They said, yes, indeed, they are going to come out and give it a whirl in game 3. Why not? You never know. Get a few jump serves going, make a couple things happen, make Mae and Walsh a little nervous maybe, get the crowd behind you. Anything can happen, and that's why we play this beautiful game. Guys, back up to you.
All right, since the injury, Mae and Walsh on a 6-2 run. Kind of a quirky game, too, and basically the finger against the calf in a battle royale. Walsh injuring her finger, Youngs with the calf, and she's up now.
The calf and the right quad and all kinds of stuff going on.
So we're going right to game 3 in Manhattan. Walsh and Mae get a forfeit in game 2. And the 3rd and final game is coming up. Stay tuned. The Manhattan Beach Open presented by Bud Light. Elaine Youngs on the final point of game 2 before forfeit. And her leg just gives way, Karch. Now Youngs in extreme pain. Youngs and Branagh have had to forfeit game 2 after winning game 1. I'm Chris Marlowe with Karch Garai, Heather Cox, Mike Dodd. We've gone straight to game 3 for the championship. May and Walsh look like they're in command.
Well, I'm a little surprised they didn't have Nicole Branagh be their first server and come out with some heat like Mike Dodd was talking about earlier. You never know. You get a couple of tough serves. But Youngs is still covering a lot of court and trying to put it up on 2 there.
I agree with you, Karch. I think Branagh should move way over and take almost the entire court. It's been done before. Young's working on that left leg, trying to keep it loose.
Well, she was standing at the net in blocking position, but now she calls her partner to do the block. Nicole Branagh after she serves.
Branagh big serve. Walsh with the kill. Full report. Let's go down to Heather Cox.
Guys, these 4 players are best of friends, travel together throughout Europe, and during that injury timeout, Misty and Carrie were certainly over by EY's side asking about her, but then they went to the players' tent, and I talked to their coach, Troy Tanner, who said, now, game on. Before, we were still going to Nicole, but now we will go to EY every single ball to try and get this championship.
Thank you, Heather. Sometimes it can be very difficult to play against a player who has an injury. I remember when you were hurt in Karch, you and Lambert, and you stunned some teams and were able to rally despite the fact that you were hurt.
Well, what teams do is they lose some of their aggressiveness in an effort to get to the ball to the injured player and go away from what got them there in the first place, go away from their strengths.
Here comes Misty. Elaine is there on 2. Branagh, yes. So Nicole Branagh is starting to pick it up, and she will have to if Youngs and Branagh have a shot here. Nicole Branagh has to step it up. 3rd and final game at Manhattan. Youngs and Branagh trying to do the improbable. Carrie Walsh with the serve. Gold medalist down by a couple. There is a scenario where you can serve the player that's not injured and make the injured player, that ball's out of bounds, serve Branagh and make Youngs run over there, hoping to induce pain.
Well, what they've done is Youngs and Branagh have realigned so that Youngs is always on the right side and she can pass it up on 2. That is a time to maybe go back to the Coach Tanner strategy, and that is, hey, we were getting points off Branagh. Let's go at her, see what happens.
Youngs will serve it, leading 7-4. May.
That's the shot you have to do. Force Youngs to have to move quick laterally. That's how she tweaked this calf in the first place, or retweaked it. And even if she gets it up, Branagh cannot hit it with a right hand over here. You can see right there in the deep corner, that is a great shot for May against this injured Elaine Youngs on defense.
Branagh over the top, Misty. Oh, what a play! But Walsh couldn't bring it over. These 2 teams have played 11 times in their career head-to-head matchup. Branagh and Youngs have only won once, and it was in the opening tournament of the season in a semifinal matchup.
The semifinals, and they went on to win that tournament. The other tournament that Branagh and Youngs won this year was in New Jersey, but May and Walsh were not there.
8-5 Branagh Youngs. Another good serve. Misty cranks on.
Trainer. 6-8 on the board.
Let's watch here. Branagh doing all the work, blocking right here, and she comes down weird. It's almost like she might be getting tired too. Everybody having their problems here, trying to win the granddaddy of them all.
Big point here. 9-6 change, or maybe 8-7. Branagh. Misty's done. Branagh again. Nobody up. And she puts it away. It's a 9-6 side change. Timeout. What a story unfolding here in Manhattan Beach. Branagh Youngs trying to fight off injuries. And May Walsh. Beach Open presented by Bud Light. NFL Hall of Famer Warren Moon in attendance today. And a future basketball star going to UCLA, Kevin Love. He's the National High School Athlete of the Year from Lake Oswego High School in Oregon. Averaged 34 points, 17 rebounds. He'll be suiting up for the Bruins this season. Chris Karch, Mike, and Heather at Manhattan Beach. We're in Game 3. Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs. Youngs, who was injured earlier, took a 5-minute injury timeout for her calf, has rebounded. Now they have a 3-point lead.
And the challenge for May Walsh is to get their aggressive play back. They've been trying to do too many tricky things to try to take advantage of Young's injury.
Misty May, Branagh shovels it over. Had a chance for a point there. Misty again having trouble siding out, and she drops one down the line. Don't forget, you can log on to AVP.com. Anytime you can watch live streaming video, all the stories, all the stats, all the stars. Log on to AVP.com. 9-7 now. Branagh, it's blocked.
And that's a smart play there by Misty May. Serve Youngs deep. Give her partner plenty of time to block, even if it's going to come on two. Make Youngs move around to put that ball close. The deeper that serve is, the harder it's going to be for Youngs to put that close to the net for Nicole Branagh to hit it on the second contact.
Brandon Youngs had scored 4 straight, now 2 in a row here for May Walsh. Youngs got it. There's a little life left in those legs for Nicole Youngs.
Just enough. Jumping much better than I thought she would. This is the first time she's had to jump in a number of minutes here. They drop off the net. She gets to hit on the open net with Walsh dropping back into defensive formation.
Now Branagh with a little bit of wind in her face. Let's see if she goes jump serve here, leading 10-8. She does. And Misty down line.
That's the shot that May has to milk. Even if Youngs gets over there, she's not going to be in a great position to put the ball away. And you can hear it here. Listen to the call from Kerry Walsh. She got the 4 staccato lines there, just like you like, Chris Marlowe. That gets the call into the hitter's head. It registered with May. Good shot.
May Walsh down by 1 now, 10-9. Youngs, half hit. Kerry to tie, yes. Kerry Walsh and Misty May finding some room.
And play, Manhattan Beach is the AVP.
And we're tied at 10-10. Manhattan Beach Open, the AVP on NBC will continue. Eastern AVP on NBC. Third and final game here at Manhattan. Misty May and Kerry Walsh. Nicole Branagh and Elaine Youngs tied. Kerry Walsh into the net. Branagh and Youngs, the decided underdogs, fighting back. Fighting through an injury in game 2 that caused them to forfeit, had to go right to game 3, and here we are at 11-10.
And Walsh taking a swing and a miss here, trying too hard to get the ball to Elaine Youngs. That's what happens when you have an injury on the other side of the net. Lose some of that aggressive play that got them here and got them that 100 wins versus 3 losses record for this year of 2007.
Youngs with a short serve.
But they were down by 2 or 3 points. They're getting back to their game a little bit here. A strong side out by Walsh. They need to keep this close or break it open. Youngs and Branagh just playing with nothing to lose, playing great volleyball, even considering the injury to Young's calf here.
Misty with the serve. On 2, Branagh with the kill.
I think May and Walsh need to keep that serve deeper. They're trying so hard to get it to Youngs. They're making it too easy, not being aggressive enough. Push her to the back line, make her push that pass 25 feet up to the net.
Youngs encouraging the crowd to root for her team. Got a lot of fans in attendance today, the Branagh Young crowd. Now Branagh, jump serve, missed it. Just long.
12-12.
Misty May was talking earlier today about what a season they have had. There's the Youngs Branagh cheering section. Rates their season an A, feels they're way ahead of where they were 4 years ago.
Kerry with the serve.
That's the serve you need to do.
Off speed. Misty's there. Misty, yes!
And that's the shot that she needs to make. Great serve, great shot. Put the pressure on Branagh Young.
On the the advice of Karch-Garai, high line is working for Misty May.
Well, Walsh started it with a tougher serve. The tougher you make that serve to Youngs, the harder it will be for Youngs to set her partner on the first contact. And Branagh can't put that ball away.
Youngs inquiring about a final timeout, and here it comes. So Youngs and Branagh will talk it over with their coach, Liz Masakayan. May and Walsh will chat with Troy Tanner. We're coming back to the finish. May, Walsh by 1. AVP Crocs Tour, Manhattan Beach Open presented by Bud Light. Third and final game, we've gone all the way. Misty May and Kerri Walsh after losing game 1, won game 2 on a forfeit at 14-7 when Elaine Youngs crumbled to the sand in pain, left calf. Game 3 now, May and Walsh leading 13-12.
That's the serve.
Ran on 2, nice dig, Kerri Walsh, the gold medalist. She's got it! Misty May with a clutch dig, or the clutch set, I should say, and Walsh with the dig. So May and Walsh now lead at 14-12.
I'm amazed that Youngs could move that well on that play. Amazing defense there, showing what heart and determination she had playing through that injury.
First championship point. Elaine Youngs, cross court, Misty. She's got a swing for the win. Got